The trees in front of the pit would probably have been pulled aside by ropes. We saw that the branches still had ropes tied to them during the firing, then they would have been eased back again afterwards. And at the rear of this pit, there was a tunnel which dog-legged into a small storage chamber where the rockets were kept. My favorite one is this. This is a really ingenious launcher. It consists of 2 concrete blocks with 10 tubes calibered for 122mm Katyusha rockets. The blocks were hidden in shallow pits, covered by a steel plate and turf. The operators would unfurl the turf, remove the steel plates, and winch up the pivoted launchers to a pre-designated angle. Fire the rockets, drop the launchers back into their pits, replace the plates and turf, and take cover in a nearby cave or bunker, safe and sound, long before Israeli jets or artillery responded. That was then. Since then, Hezbollah apparently has been seeking 2 main types of new weaponry: improved air defense systems and surface-to-surface rockets of increased range and accuracy. There have been reports for over a year now that Hezbollah personnel have received training on the SA-8 Gecko radar-guided mobile anti-aircraft missile system. It's unclear whether the SA-8 has been deployed inside Lebanon yet. Other reports claim that Hezbollah has acquired the man-portable SA-24 Grinch anti-aircraft missile, which is significantly superior to the older SA-18 Grouse on which it's based. Now, the acquisition of the SA-8 combined with the SA-24 shoulder-fired rocket would raise the threat profile to Israeli aircraft operating in Lebanese skies, forcing a change in operational procedure. While Israeli jets, like their F-16s and F-15s, are fitted with advanced anti-missile defense systems, and they can also operate beyond the range of these systems, low-flying helicopters and drones certainly would be more vulnerable. Other than air defense systems, Hezbollah has been attempting to supplement its strategic rocket arsenal with larger systems fitted with guidance capabilities. Since the tactic of firing rockets into Israel was first adopted by Hezbollah in 1992, the caliber and range of rockets has steadily increased over the years, but the systems, until recently, were unguided. The most advanced rocket presently believed to be in Hezbollah's arsenal is the M600 short-range ballistic missile. It's a relatively unknown system that is thought to be a Syrian version of the Iranian Fatah 110. It's a solid propellant rocket. It can carry a 500-kilogram warhead. It's got a range of between 250 and 300 kilometers, and has been fitted with an inertial guidance system, giving the weapon a circular error of probability of around 500 meters at maximum range. But the statistical details of this system are still a little bit sketchy. Nonetheless, the possession of the M600 allows Hezbollah, for the first time, to hit Israeli strategic targets, such as government, industrial, and military facilities. There's been much speculation lately that Hezbollah also has acquired the Syrian version of the Scud, a Syrian version of a North Korean copy of the Russian original. All I would say on that is that if Hezbollah has acquired Scuds, has been trained to use them, and plans to fire them from Lebanon, then the only target I can see that would be worth the logistical difficulties these large, cumbersome rockets pose is Israel's nuclear facility at Dimona, which is a target that lies out of range of the M600. Other than new weapons, Hezbollah is engaged in a massive recruitment and training drive, which has continued non-stop since 2006. New recruits are given month-long basic training courses in camps scattered along the flanks of the Bekaa Valley, which include 20-mile route marches across mountains with rifles, ammunition, backpacks filled with rocks. They're given lessons in the use of automatic weapons and rocket-propelled grenades. They learn surveillance and ambush techniques, and they're taught navigation skills. Recruits can later elect for specialized training courses involving, for example, sniping or rockets, mortar artillery, anti-tank weapons, and so on. Veteran cadres are given regular refresher courses, while volunteers for Hezbollah's Special Forces units undergo intensive 90-day training programs split into 2 45-day sessions. Hundreds of recruits have traveled to Iran for specialized training since 2006. Hezbollah has also been training at Sunni, Druze, and Christian political allies within a separate body called the Lebanese Resistance Battalions, which will serve as a reservist force in a time of war. Now, on the plus side for Hezbollah, the recruitment process has greatly augmented its fighting strength. On the negative side, quantity may have undermined quality. Hezbollah fighters tell me that the recruitment and training process is as rigorous as ever, and that many of the recruits are actually weeded out as unsuitable. Nevertheless, Hezbollah's ranks are now filled with many new fighters who've never been tested in combat. Hezbollah's internal communications network has greatly expanded since 2006 and now links all areas where Hezbollah has a presence. The fiber optic network is used by military cadres connecting their homes to bases and headquarters. The rank and file Hezbollah personnel have access to the older and less secure copper line network. The latter is used only for routine conversations. The secure communications pass through the fiber optic network. Since 2006, Hezbollah has reconfigured its defensive posture on the ground. It begins in the southern border district in the UNIFIL patrol zone, but the main battle lines are expected to lie north of the Litani River, and it's here that Hezbollah has installed the bulk of its defenses. These will include roads mined with belly charges to be detonated beneath Israeli armored vehicles, camouflage fighting bunkers and firing points constructed along axes of anticipated Israeli advance. An increasing amount of terrain has been placed off limits to the local population since 2006, not just in the mountainous spine running between the Litani and the town of Jezin, but to the valleys east and west of this sector, as well as other areas of the Bekaa and the south. So what will the next war look like? Well, it will be of a magnitude that will make 2006 look like a picnic in the park. Israel says it intends to implement a strategy it dubs the Dahieh Doctrine, named after the southern suburbs of Beirut, Hezbollah's stronghold, which was heavily bombed in 2006. The purpose of the Dahieh Doctrine is to inflict massive punishment on Lebanon for tolerating Hezbollah's militant activities. It is intended to be a short, very painful blow in which no targets will be off limits. It means that Lebanese infrastructure, transport hubs, and state institutions, including the army, could be targeted along with whatever Hezbollah targets are found. The purpose for the Israelis is not to get bogged down in a protracted campaign against Hezbollah, but to deliver such a level of punishment that Israel's deterrence is reinforced and Hezbollah backs down. Taken alone, I'm not sure that this strategy would work. It assumes that Hezbollah will allow Israel to dictate the pace of the war, that Hezbollah will cease military action when Israel halts its punishment campaign. I doubt very much this would happen. Once Israel takes off the gloves and prosecutes the Dahieh Doctrine, Hezbollah will have nothing to lose but to reciprocate with the full force at its disposal and likely continue even when Israel wishes to stop. In fact, I think it's very difficult to imagine that the next war will be limited to just a bombing campaign, however strong, by Israel. Hezbollah expects a major ground incursion by Israel into Lebanon and has been planning accordingly. Nonetheless, much depends on what Israel seeks to achieve in the next war, whether it will be contented with a massive punishing blow to restore deterrence or something more terminal and of greater scale. We just don't know. It's also important to mention here that Hezbollah is not seeking a war with Israel, even though it is aggressively pursuing preparations for one. A war will inflict terrible privation on its core Shia constituency, let alone the rest of the Lebanese population. Hezbollah is aware of the problems it will cause if it is seen as triggering the next war. They got away with it once in 2006 with the abduction of the 2 soldiers, but no one is going to thank Hezbollah for launching another, even more destructive conflict against Israel.